of us, but from someone at those early meetings who's here tonight, was that no one needs permission to survive. And that we're all in this together. We're all under the same roof. And you wouldn't know it the way that we live. Like, you wouldn't know that we're all under the same roof and that we need each other. But it's true. We do. So after a lot of planning and talk, it was pretty much a month ago exactly, a bunch of us turned out to the Olympia City Council meeting downtown at City Hall and told them what we needed and told them that people weren't being treated right. And it was really inspiring to see, especially people that are living outside, to have that courage to show up and tell their story and what it's like to be mistreated and disrespected, and what we need. And we've been there every Tuesday night since, and we invite you all to come out and tell that. It's a supportive group of people that show up to hear your voices. After our first city council meeting, 2 days later was that big storm that was supposed to happen, and it didn't turn out to be super big, but it was pretty big. When we had a pop-up shelter up at First Christian Church, I think a lot of you were probably there. There were about 100 people sleeping every night that would have been outside otherwise. So that was went right from talking to action, and that was really cool. We just keeping centered on love, and we have a lot coming up in the next week, especially in the next month, so I'm going to let Ty talk more about that, and then we'll hear from Sierra.
Hey everybody, so basically what are we doing and why are we doing it? Our main goal is, one, to make the city recognize what's going on as a crisis, as something that's urgent, that can't wait to be solved. We can't wait a couple months, we can't wait a year, we can't wait more years than that to really come together to find solutions for this. And two, we're here because we want to push them to do something about it, not continue just sitting around tables and talking again for months and years about this, but to actually make things happen now. For so many people, it's day to day, and survival is day to day, and we don't have the city's support right now. One of the best ways I can describe where our city is at as far as this crisis right now is a couple days ago I found out that one of the city's things they're trying to do is hire some new contractors to focus specifically on sweeping camps on call. That's where their priority is at. It's not how do we find places for people to sleep, it's how do we get people out without giving more solutions.
Right.
So that's huge. Right now, what we're trying to push the city to do, in a couple words, is legalize survival. In the end, we need housing, right? We need places for people to live that they can call their own. We realize that's not going to happen overnight, but people need a safe place to be now. And that's something we really want to push. So we, a couple weeks ago at a city council meeting, left them with a few demands of ours. One of those is for them to designate places for people to camp, where they don't have to fear being swept away, where they don't have to worry about police coming to try and kick them out. They don't have to worry about losing their stuff. Also, we've asked them to allow people to rest around buildings that are unused. There's so many of those buildings around here that aren't being used for anything. Let people rest, let people sleep. People need it to survive. Our third ask of them right now is one that's been going on for a while. It's been a really big debate about opening 24/7 bathrooms, and multiple of them. They recently just approved to set up one 24/7 bathroom, and they're spending over $300,000 on that, instead of just unlocking the ones we already have. So we want to focus on that as well. Exactly, right? So some of the things we've done to do this, like Renata mentioned, we've been going to city council meetings every Tuesday, not just the Olympia one, but also Lacey, Tumwater, getting people to show up at some of those the housing hub meetings and the county commissioners meetings. One of the biggest problems is that people in all these different areas have been kind of talking about this for a long time, but the people who are most affected by this, their voices have not been a part of that. That space hasn't been opened up for people to come together and really have their needs and their voices heard. So over at the table, we have a little tent set up over there. There's a list you can grab of like all the different meetings, all the different council meetings, and if you want to go, you can sign up. We can make sure you can get a ride there too, there and back. So that's one thing we've been doing. As Renata also mentioned, we did the emergency shelter over the weekend, and so one of the things we're going to continue doing is direct action like that to address those emergencies that our city is currently not. We also talked with City Council about having a people's budget. So one of the things that's going on, they're approving a new city budget right now. The thing that's been said is that there's no wiggle room. There's no way we can spend money on social services, on housing, on shelters, any of that. So Renata had asked him to open up a night for people from the community to come in and tell the city what we need and see if we can find that wiggle room in there to make something happen. So that's actually happened now on Monday at First Christian Church. Some people know the shelter over there. It's on 701 Franklin Street. At 6 o'clock there's going to the City Council member Clark Gilman's going to be there to hear from all of you and other people from the community about what we need and what we actually need the city to spend their money on. There's one of the great things about Just Housing is that there are so many ways to get involved. There's a lot of different things we're working on. We have a group that focuses on direct action, doing rallies like this, protests, there's going to city council meetings. There's groups that are going around just talking to people to get their stories. We want to encourage anybody with an idea that they want to see acted on to come in, tell us about it, and see if we can set up a working group and give you guys the support that you need to make those things happen. So there's a lot of ways if you want to learn more, if you have other questions. We're over at that little tent over there. We're going to have people there the whole time this is going through. So look forward to talking to a lot of you guys, and I'm going to hand over the mic to Sierra.